Hello, namaste. My name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is extremely special because a lot of you have requested it. And I'm extremely excited about this conversation as well. क्योंकि आज हमारे साथ विजय हैं. Now Vijay had a very simple normal job, हमारे जैसे internal audit, and from there he moved on to being an entrepreneur. And वो भी ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ internal audit या कुछ firm खोल ली, nothing that you would expect. He went on to start his own investment bank. Doesn't it already sound very exciting? Well, I'm super excited to know कि कैसी रही विजय की जर्नी, कैसे किया उन्होंने ये सब कुछ और कैसे हम सोच सकते हैं एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने का खुद. So if you are interested, stick around. अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो make sure कि आप सब्सक्राइब कर लो, make sure आप लाइक भी कर लो and let me know in the comments what else should I cover in my videos. Also, I'm really sorry इस वीडियो की लाइटिंग थोड़ी इधर उधर हो गई because it was night in India, daytime in Canada. तो हमने ये वीडियोस long distance शूट किए हैं. Try and use headphones for these if you can for better user experience. And अब आपको सारी information मिल गई है. So let's get straight into the video. We have Vijay here with us discussing his entrepreneurial journey and how did he think about being an entrepreneur, taking that huge risk whether it comes to his career, his financial stability, everything. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Vijay. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Nidhi, for having me. It's a pleasure to be talking to you with your connections.
Okay, so we'll straight up ask you this question. Let's start with your introduction first.
Sure. So I belong from India. I've been a chartered accountant by qualification. I am currently running a firm called as Nucleus Advisors, which is an investment banking and risk advisory firm. So we actually deal into mergers and acquisitions, private equity deals, doing due diligence, valuations, and running predominantly with the funds, VC funds and private equity funds. So I'm most involved into the startup side. So that's a brief about me. I started calling myself as a startup investment banker. So that would be a brief one.
So you started off as an investment banker and not be working as one, basically starting your own small investment bank. In India, we all dream of having a job of an investment banker. You started your own. So how did that happen? How did that switch happen?
Right. So see, I started my career into the internal audit side. I was actually being part of ICICI Bank. I was there for 2 years. I was traveling a lot and all. And then I thought I should do something of my own and skip the job and do something of my own. And I belong from Jaipur. So there are no much options in terms of investment banking. Even I could admit it. I didn't know about how an investment bank operates or how a startup deal happens until late 2017 when I actually started doing investment banking. But then I landed into Bangalore, understood the whole culture out there, how things happen out there, how startups and VCs and the network and how the equity shed out happens and how these series of investments happens. And that excited me. So because that's not what usual CA does in their in the whole career, because everyone is looking into taxation, accounts, audits, and this is a good line of business where I love to be in. And that's where I discovered, and then that's where Nucleus Foundation was led. I decided I should start something of my own and take this to some level where I can be close to the ecosystem of startups and the investors.
Mm-hmm. And so you are a chartered accountant.
Yeah, true.
So,
luckily,
most of us dream of working in IB. IB is such a big thing. Did you not think that it was a risk, especially where most people are constantly thinking about just getting a job in IB? As opposed to being an entrepreneur themselves or having a startup. Did you know that this is a risk or how was that whole process of thinking?
See, risk is everywhere, right? If I would have went down and started a small business, a small consultancy about, let's say, accounting or taxation, the risk is same. What I would say is a little bit of higher risk in this sector may be that you are fighting with the biggest tycoons in the market. With the good investment banks, you're dealing with the top-notch guys who are sitting with money, runs the fund, and maybe you're talking with the founders who are coming from IITs, IIMs, and have a good high heads. You have to deal with them day in, day out. So the risk, I would say, is similar to what you do into different businesses. It's just you have to first figure out you want to do it or not, and it takes a lot of patience to build up an investment banking practice than the other line of practice, because people know and are accustomed to it. They know that they want to hire a chartered accountant for doing their books, but they don't know they want to hire an investment banker for getting the funding. So that's where the whole gap arises, and that's where we plug in and help investors as well as the startups.
And how has it been going so far?
Going so far so good. Been lucky enough, in the lockdown itself we closed more than 10 deals, which we generally do in couple of like 10 or 12 months, but we were quite lucky enough. Had a good team built up. Last year July we incorporated Nucleus, and by far we are a team of 35 people. We are having like 15 geographies covered worldwide, in which we are having clients. As North America we are setting in, we are having quite a good concentration over there, and it's been a wonderful journey. I would say what could we do in this short span of time? I feel good, and there are things to take care of in there.
And did you never feel that there was something lacking in terms of education, or is there something extra that you should have done, to be an entrepreneur, to have your own investment bank, a startup, etc.?
Right. See, I would say chartered accountancy gives you everything. It just doesn't give you the networking skills. That's where everyone lacks, right? And I would suggest, like, many people reach out to me on LinkedIn that how did you land up into investment banking, because they just go and see this guy was working into a bank and now he's running an investment bank. So how this is possible? This transition happens. So the whole advice for these people is the MBAs learn the tricks of getting the networking done. They know how to speak. They know how to close deals. But chartered accountants are not been accustomed to it. So I felt few times when I was in bank that I should have done MBA, because that would have given me more business insights and all. But when gradually you get on the floor and you actually dealing with the things on the floor, you generally develop those skills. You get all those skills on the ground. So maybe I thought in few times I should do CFA. I should go for some professional, like I should try for IIMs if I can land into it. But eventually now I feel that once down the line understood the whole market, it doesn't really make a lot of difference if you just get the what do you say in Hindi we say a kitabi knowledge, or you should have a more of a good practical exposure and a good networking skill. So that's where CAs lack, and that's where other field people excel into. I'm not say quite far difference, but there is a difference. We have to acknowledge that actually.
Right. No, I'm completely with you on that. And then wasn't there a hesitation in terms of complete switch of fields? Because you moved from internal audit to, this completely different field. So why didn't you think about having your own practice? Because that's what most of us as CAs think of, right? Like if we are starting off something. So how did you come up with investment banking is what you want to do? Or how can anyone else know what is it that they should think of as an entrepreneur?
Right. See, I won't put myself into a bucket where I was quite smart to identify that, okay, this field is good, I should go into this. I was eventually being pushed to this field by my partners. So they knew that this field is good. Let's send him to Bangalore and he should be able to get the gist of this business. Getting from internal audit and going into investment banking, maybe this switch, I would say anyone can make if he is he knows it by himself that, okay, I can go and make deals. I don't have to be working into one field which is not giving him enough challenges. I enjoyed internal audit. So to keep myself on a clear track, I enjoyed it to the fullest. Like I was doing traveling, I was meeting new set of people every week, and that's where I built up these skills in terms of knowing people, getting information out of people, and like understanding people. That's what investment banking is. So it was not what a calculated decision like my team members. If you meet them, these guys are young chaps, maybe in their 21 or 22, and they exactly know where they want to be in, and they're doing an internship and an articleship with me, and they know what an investment bank is, what is how we should operate into this market, and who are startups and all. And anyway, I'm helping them to make this career. And then I was not exposed to this world, But when I realized this world is something else, something where I should be in, I should stick to it. There were times I thought, let's stick to the basic practice of doing taxation, auditing accounts. But there I felt there is too much of competition, fierce competition. There are many people who can do better than me. So let's not jump into a field where I can't make a difference in my life. So let's stick to something and let's see if things goes well, it goes well.
So, Vijay, what's going to be your advice to anyone who's thinking about being an entrepreneur? What do you think are the qualities or certifications or attitude that one should have?
Sure. So see, I keep entrepreneurs into two buckets. One is the people who just came out of their colleges and now they want to do entrepreneurship and they're fascinated by what people are doing in the world. Second is a few people who are into the, let's say, 3 to 5 years of their job, or let's say more than that, and they now think we should come out of from their job culture and come out and start a business. Maybe I fall into the second category, not the first one. For the first people, for the people who fall into first bucket, I would suggest them to have a solid idea in terms of if they want to do it. Then next is they should first they should also find out a good team who can work with them. There is no fun in running solo. There is none. Like you should have someone, a friend, a family member who can work along with you, and get a little liquidity from your family, and also a good family support. That will be the first thing you will require from your entrepreneurship journey. That your family should support you. I've been quite lucky that my family supports me in every decision I take, maybe a good or bad, but that's the mental peace you should have when you start doing some entrepreneurship journey. For the second side of people who are now 5 to 10 years of their jobs, now they have more responsibilities on your head. They have a family to feed. They have their children's education, all the EMIs and all those things. So I would suggest that you come out from a job having a good corpus of at least 12 months in your hand, so that you can personally support your family and yourself for the next 12 months until things figure out. And it takes 12 months. It can take more. It can be a pathetic journey for you, as we say in the market, but you should have a soft cushion in terms of that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, and again, find out a good team for the second set of people also. You don't just come out of a job and just start running towards things. And one most important thing for both the brackets, I would say, is you can be jack of all trades and master of none, right? It's not necessary that you should be expert in doing something. It's good to be doing multiple things and good at multiple things. That's how I categorize myself, because I can do multiple things. I'm not expert in one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because you would be doing sales, you would be doing marketing, you would be doing technical side of it, you will be doing networking meetings. And if you come and say, I'm not good at sales, I would suggest you to find someone who's better than you. Because in any startup, whatever you launch, you have to be a good salesman, either you or someone else. So I guess to summarize this could be few good bullet points someone can take care of.
And are there any websites or resources that you access in terms of getting a good team, in terms of, what steps one can take? Like, is there a forum where you can find people who are like-minded?
LinkedIn, maybe. So where you spend more of your time, and I try to find out people on different platforms, but where LinkedIn makes the whole impact is nonetheless the best one. I stopped using Facebook a long time ago. A few other platforms. LinkedIn, you can find the best talents. You can make your good connections with the companies. And I can admit it openly today with you that whatever practice I've built in investment bank, that's only because of LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And few lots of networking events I attended. So I would suggest you have to be active on LinkedIn. For you doing any entrepreneurship, you're going to launch a food tech, ed tech, you're going to for a health tech, you are going for a small business, maybe a service company, an IT company, you have to be on LinkedIn. You will find good, like-minded people talking to you, can help them raise investments also. Many people raise their investments on LinkedIn. And again, and next thing is attend as many webinars and seminars you can. In today's world, not many seminars are happening, but webinars are happening. Although I couldn't find them quite interacting enough when we do seminars, but attend as many as you can. Even if it's free, even if it's paid, just try from your own pocket and try to attend these events. I made wonderful connections from these events, like good fund houses, their managers you can find there. You can just have a coffee with them, and you can have their relationship from there on. I made good relationships in big fours from there itself. Like I'm good, nicely connected with Deloitte, BDO, PwC, KPMG, and all these guys I met in the events. So maybe there you make your network. There you can also explore how you can take your business in the next um, speed lane.
Okay, okay. Vijay, this has been a great conversation. And for me, it's been also very therapeutic. Just learning from somebody who's done something that I currently do and has gone on to do such wonderful things. So thank you so much for taking our time. Guys, I'm also adding Vijay's LinkedIn link below. If you have questions, if you want to connect with him, feel free to do that. And I am sure, I genuinely hope that this video has helped you, and that you guys are also going to consider taking a risk and taking an informed decision about it. I think that's more important than just taking a risk. So thank you so much, Vijay, once again, and wish you all the best, and excited to see what Nexus does.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.